To access GS reports, use quick links, click on Reports. Expand the navigation menu, choose Analysis, and then select Reports. To begin creating a new report, click Add. The first step to creating your report is to add retrieval. Click the Add Retrieval button. Now, name the retrieval. Please note, this is a required field. Next, date type. The default setting will show relative. Using the drop-down, you have another option of fixed. For this tutorial, relative is the date type that I want to select. I want years. I'm going to use the drop-down here. Select years. I want 2 years. 2 years ending now, and noting that my 2 years ending now is displayed properly to align with this date setting. Under Data, Retrieval Type, Parts and Processes. Note that the retrieval type and the selection type are aligned. Under Parts, this is also a required field. Using the drop-down, I will select my part. I am not making a selection for processes. Data filter type and data filter are optional selections. I'm not making any selections here. For my maximum records to retrieve, the default setting is 25. I want a maximum records to retrieve to say 100. Advanced, include bypass data. Default setting is no. I am leaving it selected as no. Click Confirm. You are now prompted to set the report settings. For SBC data, include data raw set for data. The default is yes. Anticipated maximum subgroup size is 3. You can make changes here. For this tutorial, 3 is my selection. Charts. Using the drop-down, I'm selecting Control Chart. As you can see, you also have the option to select a histogram. Traceabilities, I'm splitting by characteristic. Using the drop-down, there are multiple traceabilities that you can select here. Statistics, I want distribution, count above spec, and mean. I'm going to click in the field, begin typing my first statistic. Now I have chosen my 3 statistics, and the traceability I am splitting by is characteristic. Note, you can include DMS data. For this tutorial, I am not including DMS data. You can also include OEE and task data. I will not making any selections here as well. Click Confirm. You are now taken back to the canvas, and now using the Retrievals drop-down, you can see that your name retrieval is now displayed. Using the icons for editing the retrieval, you can use the icon to select data types, statistics, and charts and make edits here. You could also delete if you wanted, if this was a need. And then if you would like to add additional retrievals, use the plus icon. I am satisfied with the retrieval that is created. Now click on Save. You are now prompted to name the report. Click Confirm. the report is successfully named, click on Back to Reports to return to the reports listing. Now, my named report is displayed in the reports listing. As additional reports are added, you may be able to use the search to search for a report by name, see your report listed in the listing. You can view any report by clicking on the View icon to review the details of that report. You can edit a report in the listing by clicking on the Edit icon. Customizing the report begins with a blank canvas. Utilize the Properties area to apply background and borders. There are many properties that can be used to customize reports. This video will focus on the most common properties and controls used for a COA report. Other properties or layout options include clicking on Continuous Section, name the section, adjust the margin styles and sizes, page size, and page orientation. Click on Add a Section to add additional continuous sections. Remaining layout options include Show Grid, Snap Disabled, Show Rulers, Zoom Out, Zoom In, Inches or Centimeters. Expand the Toolbox control panel to begin applying controls to the canvas for a basic COA report. Upon clicking on a control, the control is now enabled with properties and styling, text styling tools for this control. Please note, save frequently when applying controls to the canvas. I will move the text box to the position on the canvas as this text box will be used for the report, date, run, and time. Applying the table from the Toolbox control panel, I will create my table for my raw data. I will need an additional 3 columns. I will do this by clicking anywhere in the table, right-click, choose Column, More, assign the position of where the columns will appear. I want them to the right, and select the count. Insert. I have now applied the 3 additional columns for my data. Using the first column in the table, the middle row, and selecting the link with the 3 dots, click there and begin adding your data. Now that the data has been applied to the table, returning back to the Control Toolbox panel, expanding, I would like to add another table that will display the statistics that I want to include in a summary. Always make sure that when you're adding additional controls to the canvas, that you have deselected out of the area prior to adding a new control. I will move this table to the position of the canvas. Now, for this particular table, as it is a summary to display my statistics in the report, starting with the first column, using the middle row of the first column, click on the three dots to expand the link. Scroll down until you see the statistics associated, and then select your statistics. Both of my tables have now been entered on the canvas. Now, let's begin with adding those other areas to the report from the control panel to make our report complete. Expanding the toolbox control panel, I require another text box as I would like to have a title for my report. As you can see, the properties associated with the text box is now enabled. From the value area, under comment, I'm going to click in that field and type in the title, COA. Enter. Now the text has been entered in the text box on the canvas. Utilizing the text styling control toolbar, I will make adjustments. I would like to increase the font. I would like it to appear bold and centered. Using my mouse to drag the edges, I now can see that my title is displayed appropriately in the report where I would like to have it placed. I also want to have a header and a footer. A header to display my logo for my company, and a footer to display page numbering in the report. By clicking in the canvas and then right-clicking with my mouse, click Add Header. Repeating this step to add a footer. Now I have a footer and a header. Clicking within the footer area, returning to the control panel, expanding, I'm going to select Image. This is where I want the logo to appear in the header section of the report. Utilizing the Properties area, under Appearance, Image, I'm going to use the drop down here, click on Embedded, and here is my company logo that I have previously uploaded. Please note, if you have not uploaded previously to assigning this control to the report, use the load and secure the file for uploading. Click, and now my image is in the header section. However, it needs some fitting to look appropriately displayed in the report. Returning to the Properties area, under Appearance, Image Sizing, using the drop-down, I will select Fit Proportional. Now I can see that my logo is now proportional. I'm going to use my mouse to drag up, click out, and I can see that I like where that has landed in the report. Those text boxes that is required for the date, Using the Properties area, under Common, Value, I will click on the Data Binding button and then Expression, Common Values, select Current Date and Time, double-click, and click Save. Now I have applied the control for my report to show the date and time when the report is ran. I require an additional text box to place in the footer section of the report for page numbering. So returning back to the control toolbox, expanding, select text box, and now I will drag this text box to the area in the footer section where I would like page numbering to appear. Returning to the Properties area, Common, Value, clicking Data Binding, Expression, Common Values, Page Number, double-click, and Save. Now I have applied page numbering to my report. My report is nearly complete for a basic COA. One last thing that I would like to have in my report is a control chart. Returning back to the Toolbox control panel, expanding, selecting an image. I'm going to drag this image in the position on the canvas where I would like to display it in my report. The properties for the image is now displayed. Under Appearance, I'm going to click on Image and use that drop down, and Shared, click, and now there is my control chart. Now, please note, you may be wondering, how was the image for the control chart included? When you set up the retrieval, under the report settings, the chart type of control chart was the selection. As mentioned previous, save frequently. Let's save the report. Now, preview. In the preview mode, there are several things and functionalities, capabilities for viewing the report. Starting with zooming out, fit to page or zoom in, view as a single page, continuous view, go next or go to last. We would like to go next to look at each page of the report to ensure the controls are placed properly and are to satisfaction. First, starting with the logo, looks good. The title, report, date, and run time. Page numbering, summary, and control chart. Also from the preview, you can expand the menu, use the search option, as well as export. There are several formats to export the report. First, being HTML file. Using the drop-down, you can also export the report in a tabular data as well as PDF. Once satisfied with the report, choose and select how you would like to download your report or print your report. Click Save. Now, close and you are returned back to the report canvas. Here you can make additional changes, or you can return back to the reports listing menu. Adding parameters avoids having to edit the report each time you want to generate it for additional parts and traceabilities. Parameters prompt the user for a field or multiple fields for running the report. The choices for those fields modify the retrieval to change the data that is retrieved. Note, if you have a retrieval that has a selected characteristic or part, and then you add a new characteristic or part to the parameters, the previous characteristics or parts are replaced with the one that the user selects in the parameters. Begin from the Report Designer Editor screen and click on Parameters. In the Parameters area, select Add Parameter. In the parameters for process, choose your type. Using the drop-down, I am selecting characteristic. Note that my type and the label align to match each other. My retrieval is displayed. If you have multiple retrievals, you would be allowed to select here as well. For this example, there is only one retrieval. Then choose Allow for Multiple. Using the drop-down, I will select Yes. There are several characteristics associated, so I do want the operator to be able to select multiple. Click Confirm. Now click on Preview. You are prompted now to select the parameters for that characteristic. Because I selected multiple, the operator can select multiple or just select one. I will choose at least two for this example. Click on Confirm. And now my report is displayed with those characteristics in the report. You may scroll through to view all of the pages. You can also, from the preview mode, change your parameters or run parameters from here. Using the drop-down, you can see the two selected parameters that were selected, as well as I can deselect and change my parameters. Now my report is showing the selected parameters. Thank you for viewing GS Reports tutorial video. For additional details, view GS Online User Guide or contact sales@hersler.com.